From the Denovo Realty Studios in sunny Brevard County, Florida, the most important podcast on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, Denovo Realty Radio.
Hi, this is Garrett Bell with Denovo Realty, and today I have Sherry Boswell.
Hi.
And today we're going to talk about how we use our CRM system to enhance and improve our business. So to start with, what is a CRM? So a CRM, I believe, stands for Customer Relationship Manager. So it's, one way we're going to keep all your customer information all in one spot. It's the basic concept, but there's a million different tools out there. There's a million different features. Everyone in our office really likes ours. You can apply this to other CRMs. We're going to talk deep about it today. So Sherry, tell us, kind of like benefits, pros and cons, what you like about ours. We're using Sierra. What you like about it?
Well, I think it's so important for us as agents to have a database where we can keep track of our clients, not only our brand new clients, but also throughout the whole process of the real estate journey, and also even keeping in contact with them after the property's closed.
Forever and ever.
Yes, forever and ever, because we really, the follow-up, it's really key, is really following up with your clients. And that's where we tend to get a lot of our referrals from our clients that we've worked with. They've had a great experience. So it's really important just to keep all of that information, I think, at our fingertips. As we get busy as agents, we can often feel like we're dropping the ball. But this gives us
Things can be a little chaotic, to say the least.
Yes, especially when you're working with 10 and 12 people at the same time.
Yeah.
How are you going to keep everybody,
Exactly.
everybody on track?
Yes. So ours that we use is a little different in the fact that we have our property searches all built into our system. So we are using, instead of using the Flex as our name of our MLS, instead of using Flex, everybody uses our CRM, because our CRM hooks into our website, and that's all of our client. So kind of run us through how that works.
Okay, so through your advertising that you do, you'll advertise a property out there, whether it be Google or Facebook, often, and they're all hooked into our Sierra database. So we get a new client into the database, I see it automatically. It pops up on either my phone or my email, and I'm able to find out everything that they have inputted into the system, their phone number and email. They may have already attempted to do a search themselves. But we set them up on an automatic search already. We immediately reach out to them, see if we can help them in any way, and kind of tailor whatever their situation is, really get an idea about the customer, their time frame, the type of house that they're looking for, and even the financing for that. So we can place all of that in Sierra.
All that goes into the system, yeah, and that's for all the online leads, so they're automatically coming in. And then, the search is the exact same, criteria that you can get in the MLS, but it's going out to the client immediately. We're able to track what the customer is, so all the properties that they've saved, looked at, and, requested showings for, and it's all in one spot. So it really helps, kind of keep our brains from exploding.
Instead of a client maybe reaching out to us via text or phone call because they're working during the day, this gives them an opportunity and a platform to log right into the system, keep track of new and upcoming properties every day or every week as they're looking. And I really think, I just hear from our clients that they really like to be able to go in and talk to me throughout the day without having to pick up the phone.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. So, kind of give us an idea how you do, your workflow. Like, what do you start with? Do you have like a times periods that you do it? What's your personal system on? Everyone's got their own thing.
Yeah, everybody has their own. My personal system is, I really try to get in there, and I've done a lot of research. I've listened to a lot of people who've done research, and they say there's some better times to call. So I try to get my phone calls in between 10 and 12. In the morning, so I'll go in.
Not at night, huh? Not at midnight.
But you know what? You can't call. I do call sometimes from 5 to 6, 5 to 7. It's a good time after work. I try not to call anybody any later than that. But 10 to 12, sometimes 2 to 4. It just depends on how my day is going, if I have showings. but I do try to get in there from 10 to 12. I usually get a great response during those hours, and it allows me to be able to, I go in, I see exactly who has logged in that day, who has logged in overnight, who's come back to the system, and maybe what houses they're looking at. So I'm able to go in, and maybe I've looked at the hot sheet that day and I saw a great property that might be for Susie Smith, and I can go right to her. I can send that particular MLS listing to her in Sierra right away.
Yeah. And they can share it with their friends. There's a share button in there. And
We see a lot of that.
Yeah, for sure. One thing, kind of personal preference that I use is, I'll check. So our CRM system is hooked with with a telephone number and email, and so it's all out of one spot. So we'll have an incoming inbox in there. So it's any you receive from any of your clients. So the benefit of that is you don't have a cluttered email list of your spam, your transaction related things, that you can hyper focus on the most important part about real estate as a sales agent, and that's your customer and your, whether it's your current clients or potential clients, you can hone in on only that. So starting with the inbox, and then we would go into our task manager system. So we have, whether you have scheduled a phone call, text message, email, or just like maybe a, task yourself to kind of schedule a showing, all in one spot. So we jump from that, and then we jump into our lists. So that's kind of another important piece, I think, is the, having a funnel of where your clients are at, so that you're knowing the tempo that you reach out to people, you're knowing, who to contact when, and no one's slipping through the cracks.
You may not have somebody to contact aggressively because they're renting, and it's not, you have a note in there that says their lease ends in December.
Right.
So you know that they're in that pocket, in that window, and then you can set your task up accordingly. One of the beauties with the CRM that we use is that it allows us to be able to put action plans on certain
action
folks,
plans are super
especially
important.
if they are a prime client. They are qualified, looking, ready to move, and we are able to set up an action plan that's exactly tailored to them. It's automatic, so it saves not only my time, but also I think it benefits the client, because it keeps those
100%.
little reminders in there that, hey, a new property came on, hey, is everything going all right? And those automatic action plans really, I think, set us apart as agents and being able to have that client contact.
And on the email alerts alone, like one really nice feature that I like is anytime you save a property, or it'll alert you if the price drops on that specific one. You get, hey, the price just dropped, so maybe something was just a little bit outside of your budget. Now the price drops and it's right where you're at. You're getting immediately notified, so that you're not missing out on a property. I think from the client standpoint, that's one of the most important things about our system, is that, for us to be able to go into the MLS when, we're out on a listing and something, just comes back on the market, a deal fell through somewhere else, and it's this property that our client was like, I gotta have this one, I can't believe I missed it. And then it comes back on the market. We're out, maybe we're eating dinner and doing something and don't see it, and they get immediately notified. So I think that's super, super important to have for our client facing. There's multiple benefits to this.
And they can schedule a showing right then.
Yeah.
So they don't have to wait to call us. They can schedule the showing. We're going to see it.
Click the button.
Yes, and I'm in Sierra a couple times a day. I do get alerts on, people that are responding to some of the calls that I've done in the morning. So I'll kick back in there and I'll knock all those communications out. What I love too is our experience that we can create for the client is really, really top notch. They're able to go in there at 8 o'clock at night when they're hanging out after work, kids are in bed, and they're with their spouse and they are just looking at properties. They can have that choice to go in there and create a search just for them. Say, hey, if we were just dreaming out there and I wanted the condo, ocean view, and that's all they wanted to look for, or maybe just houses with pools. I just want a house with a pool. So they can set up their own search, and it really, I think, gives our client a great experience. So as an agent, I really think Sierra actually is one of the best CRMs that I've been able to use as an agent in my years of being a real estate agent. But as a broker, how does it really help you do what you do?
So from my sales, I also use it for my own sales, and I found that I've used a ton of platforms. Have experimented more times than I can count, and the ease of use for both the customer and the agent is huge. So we have a little contest in the office where we look at how many views some of our clients have had, and it's in the thousands of properties, and they continue to use it even after we close, and they're like, we still want to look at pretty houses and stuff, and they really enjoy going on the website. So the ease of use for that. And then from the agent standpoint, I think everybody has tried a CRM at one time and just like, oh, I'm going to use it. They're gung-ho, they're excited, I'm going to clean up my life and have everything so organized, and they go in and maybe it's too clunky or they don't have a workflow, and then they don't use it. So this one I found, like, people use it, it's very intuitive, they catch on quick, and they actually, I mean, that's the biggest thing. Find one that you use, and this is the one that I found that everyone uses the most. That, I really love the workflow that, we have a system in place, not just on how to, like what features it has, but an actual workflow of like, here's start to finish a workflow of taking your client to closing. Mm-hmm. That, and then we do a lot of online lead generation, and without having a good system like this, you cannot convert online leads, and you're wasting money if you don't have a good system. So it takes our Google, Facebook leads, all of it. It's easy for me to route it out to the different agents. It's not complicated. I can switch something in a second, and my head doesn't explode.
If some of us are on vacation and not able to
like you just were on vacation,
you can turn it off for a week and have a break.
I'm like, all right, Sherry, you get a very short break. So what's one piece of it that you just can't live without?
Wow, so many great features, but I think one of the ones that I really love every day is the dialer.
Yeah.
So I can go in there and I can set up 10, 15, 25, 65 calls, and it will just roll.
That's a lot.
Hey, it can be done. It's done. I do it all the time. But what you can do is it just flows right into, I just set my headset on, I put all my calls in there, click a button.
Follow up with your database.
And I just go down my database, and I love it. It's one of my favorite time saving.
Yeah, for sure. Well. It's a great system. I think as an agent, especially, in today's times, you almost have to have one, because there's too many moving parts, and it ties everything together. Find one that you use. We love ours, and, do it. Thanks for watching, y'all. See you next time.
Bye.
Now go!